Hey friends, welcome back to the Her Business Elevated podcast. This is episode number 64, and I'm your host, Demetria Zinga, your friendly content creator, digital marketer, and homeschool mom turned full-time entrepreneur. I teach content strategy to creatives, solopreneurs, and women in business, helping them to elevate their brands with content that impacts. I'm your host. I'm here to uplift and encourage you on your entrepreneurial journey. And before we dive into today's topic, I do have an exciting announcement. My course, Content with Confidence, is on holiday sale as of December 2024. It's right now on sale for 50% off. This course includes 6 training videos, a 50-page coaching workbook, and an audio book companion. And it's all designed to help you create content with ease and clarity. It's valued at $127, and I sell the course for $79. But currently, because it's 50% off, you can get it for $36. So this offer is only available throughout the rest of the holidays. No special code needed. Just follow the link in the show notes to grab it now. And today I will be sharing the audio from my recent YouTube video. I've been sharing a lot more content on my YouTube channel as of lately, posting a video about 4 times a week just in the past 2 weeks. I really enjoy sharing there in addition to this podcast because it makes the most sense for me right now, as it's helping me to be even more transparent and make brand new connections. In earlier episodes, I've talked about how it wasn't always a good season for me to show up on YouTube. I just didn't have the capacity or the desire to create videos. But I'm in a new season right now. I'm feeling a little bit better and I want to show up that way. So YouTube makes sense. I'm really planning to ramp up my content there, so I'd love for you to check out that channel when you get a moment. You can find it at my name, Demetria Zinga, Solopreneur, and I'll leave a link in the show notes, of course. And since last week, some of the video titles I've been able to share over there are How to Find Your Niche and Sweet Spot as a Solopreneur, Become a Content Creator This Year, 5 Essential Mindset Shifts for Content Creators. Basically, I relabeled that one, Create Content and Do It Afraid. Then I have one called 20 Years of Solopreneur Experience That I Wish I Knew Sooner, and Why SEO Works, as well as my 20-year content creator story. So today, I'm going to be sharing tips on setting priorities, creating boundaries, embracing flexibility, and maintaining a healthy mindset, all essential for balancing family life and solopreneurship. Those of you who are solopreneurs know exactly what I mean. Being a solopreneur is a whole category of its own. It's like a subsection of being an entrepreneur, except that you are doing all the things, wearing all the hats, and wearing all the shoes. So this audio comes from my recent video, which is How I Balance Family Life and Solopreneurship, Tips from a Working Mom. So I'd love for you to grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee or any other beverage that you love, and let's dive into this video. Hi guys, I'm Demetria, your friendly content strategist. I have some ideas that I thought would be helpful for entrepreneurs. I want to share with you some strategies for balancing family life while running your business. And I know a lot of you listening and watching are business women, business moms, and so I want to address that. My first tip is going to be setting clear boundaries. So I love people. I love my family. I love the holiday season. I love all the things that come along with holidays, and I just love it all. But when it comes to business, and when you're running an online business, you really have to have some boundaries so that you know when you're working, when you're not working, what you need to accomplish, how you want to accomplish it. That way you are set. You understand what it is you need, and you'll be a better person for having those boundaries in your life. So my kids are older now, and I have a lot more time on my hands to work on my business. I have an adult daughter and I have a teenage daughter. And because they are the age they are, I don't have to worry about running around behind toddlers or nursing babies. And that really makes a big difference in how my lifestyle is as a woman, entrepreneur, as a mom, and how I balance family and business. It means I have more space. It means I have more time and I have more flexibility. When they were younger and they were babies, I didn't have this kind of flexibility. So my boundaries looked very different then. Today, my boundaries are that at a certain time, when it's after school time for my daughter, I try to cut off all of my work. So I try not to. I have on occasion answered emails, but I try not to do anything past 5 p.m. if possible. Unless it's an emergency, I'm not going to answer emails, because in my book, that is one boundary I have to keep in order to maintain my sanity. So I'm an introvert. I like doing things in my own timing. I like doing things kind of quietly behind the scenes. I don't like to make a big fuss, a big ruckus, a big deal. I don't like to bring a lot of attention until I'm ready. When I'm ready to launch my course, when I'm ready to launch my services, then it's all about, yes, let's talk about it. Let's get this marketing campaign going. But while I'm working on it, I'm not saying a word. And so I think my boundary regarding that is due to my personality. So if you have a personality similar to mine, then you probably understand where I'm coming from as far as boundaries go. There's some things that are private and some things that are for the public. And there's a time for the public to know and there's a time for them not to know. And so then you're really quiet about it. At least that's where I am right now in my life. But as far as business goes, again, there's a time for me to market my materials. There's a time for me to work on it quietly behind the scenes. And again, family is very, very important to me. So spending time with my kids, spending time, quality time with my husband, and not bringing work into every aspect of our lives is so important. And it's always been a juggle. It's been a juggling act. And I never have found that complete homeostasis. I've never found that perfect spot, but we never do. We just figure it out as we go, because again, our kids change, they grow up, they transition, we transition. And now as an older mom, I'm in my late 40s. There's other things happening in my life right now too, hormonally, that really just changes my outlook on how I want to do life and how I want to do business. So I'm a lot more strict with my boundaries, not rigid, but strict enough to say, I'm not doing this past 5 p.m. and I'm not answering emails. I'm not having a group coaching session at this time in my life, or I'm not doing a one-on-one, or I'm not doing this or that. But there are some things that I know for a fact I have to do. Like I am doing digital products. I am meeting for virtual coffee meetups with potential clients because I know that they need to have that time with me. So maybe that one-on-one, maybe an occasional group coaching. It just depends on my season. So as a woman in business, this is for you, especially this video, because we have certain seasons where we're just feeling completely like I need to get out there, or seasons when we just don't want to get out there and we want to do things quietly. And if you're an introvert, you know what I mean. And so there are other things that I like to do for boundaries. I also like to remember that a woman my age, I need to be comfortable in my skin. Comfortable in my skin in terms of how I operate in my business and how I move and how I flow. So for me, it means I need to be like physically comfortable. So because I have hormonal fluctuations where sometimes I'm hot and sometimes I'm cold, then I'm keeping a cup of tea with me all the time, especially in the fall and the winter, because this makes me comfortable. This makes me feel like, okay, I can calm down now and I can work on my business. And I never had this problem before when I was younger, but now I do. So this is my go-to. I love my tea. I love having decor. I like having things that around me that just make me feel happy about working. So fix up your space, add some little elements to your environment, bring a drink that you love, and get to work and enjoy your environment. Sometimes I have to leave my house and I have to go to a cafe, and we have this really cool local cafe that I love. And I love it because nobody bothers me, and because the people that are there, I love them because I know these people, and we become sort of a community together. And it's the safest cafe in this area that I know of. And I'm not telling the name of it or where I live, because then the cat will be let out of the bag and it won't be a secret anymore. But it's my go-to place and it makes me happy. I love this place. And when I'm not at home working, I'm working there. And when I'm there, I have a favorite drink that I always order. And it's just kind of a routine that I have. So figure out your boundaries and figure out what makes you happy so that you can move the best in your business and you're comfortable. But as women, sometimes we have different needs that are not necessarily addressed in the business world in general, just because a lot of the content out there is just to get us focused on the hardcore aspects of business. And I do talk about SEO and content marketing and strategy and digital marketing and web design and all of the stuff, blogging. I talk about all of that. But I think it's important for us to understand the value of knowing ourselves and how we present as women and how we feel and our phases of life, what we're going through, and how those are important aspects of our daily life that we have to recognize in our business. As a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, you have to recognize that as a woman, you're going through stuff that other genders are not going through. So it's just what it is. In order to run your business most effectively, you've got to understand yourself and embrace where you are. Be okay with it. That's why I love watching older people on YouTube, older women, older men who are in their 60s, 70s, and 80s that are here on YouTube doing their thing in their late stage of life and saying, hey, I don't feel like I'm too old to be here. I'm going to be here and I'm going to present what I want. And I love it because they bring so much value to YouTube. They bring so much value because of what they can share, because of their wisdom. And it's just refreshing to see that in 2024, 25 and beyond. I love it. I love it. And so it encourages me, and at my age, that I can keep doing this. I can keep showing up and I don't have to get tired. And when I do get tired, I can take a break and I can come back, and it's okay. It's okay. And so I encourage you with that, especially during seasons that are stressful. I also want to share to just prioritize what matters in this stage of your life. Family is important, period, because we are not islands to ourselves, and business isn't everything. Businesses come and go. Jobs come and go. Can't build your life on your job or your business. It's not worth it. So what you might think would be a successful venture for you, what looks successful in the eyes of the beholder, what might make you six figures, could a year from now not make you six figures. It could be one of the most disappointing things that ever happened to you because you built something and worked so hard and then suddenly takes a downward turn. That's happened to so many entrepreneurs. I'm on mailing lists right now, connected to people who have started $1 million businesses. I mean, their companies took off, skyrocketed, but because they grew really quickly and they just didn't have the work-life balance together, it kind of got out of control. And I won't say the names of the entrepreneurs I'm following right now that have this story, but yeah, I've heard this story again and again and again. And so all of that to say, and it's no judgment on them because they're doing what they need to patch things together and to come back from their brokenness because they were hurt through the process. And now they're coming back online and they're saying, I want to reframe the way I look at business and not allow this to ever happen to me again. So I'm coming from the perspective of I want to have my business be a product or service that I provide on my own terms because I'm a person. I'm not a business. Yes, my business bears my name. Yes, my integrity is on the line with my business and I bring my best to the table, the best I can do, but I am not equal to my business. So I have to remember I have a family. I have a wonderful, loving husband. I have 2 beautiful daughters, and I want to focus my life on making sure that we keep making family memories and that my mind is always there, that I'm always fully engaged in what's going on in my household and that I'm not separated emotionally from what's happening because I'm worried about what's happening in my business. So as much as I love working on this kind of stuff and I do it all the time and I'm creating all this content and I'm helping you guys, this is my pocket back burner kind of stuff. This is my pocket money and this is my back burner stuff that I do 8 to 5 o'clock or even less hours. And I don't do it when I can't, when I just emotionally can't or when I physically can't because I don't always feel good enough to work. But when I do feel good, I'm going to work on it and I'm going to provide for you guys and show up. But when I don't feel like it, when I have to lay down and take a nap because my iron level said, you're going to lay down and take a nap, then that's what I'm going to do. Or if I need to spend that extra time with my daughter in high school because she needs that extra support for college apps, or she needs to talk to me about a boy or about something going on in her life, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be listening to her. I'm not going to be thinking I got to go, make that podcast edits right now. And I got to go do this YouTube script. That's totally on the back burner. And that's why my other tip for you is batching, which I talk about on probably every video. But when you batch your content, you can do a whole bunch of stuff at one time. And that way you have time to do other things. So while she's downstairs playing the piano, I just made 4 videos. So this is how I run my life, because I don't want my entire life and the scope of the entire day to be devoted to business. I'm going to carve out an hour or 2 and I'm done. And that's basically how I do it. There are days I do an 8 to 5 or something like that, but that's only when I'm working with a one-on-one client and I need to like devote that time to them and to be available to them should they need me. So I'm kind of on call. But other than that, no, it's content creation, creating products. It does not have to be an 8 to 5 gig. And I like it that way. So that also gives me time. If I want to work a part-time job, I can do that. If I want to develop something else on the side, I can do that. And so I love having that flexibility. But I just wanted to come on and share with you some tips that make me run as a solopreneur and how I'm balancing family with my life during the holidays and beyond. Holiday seasons are busier just because there's more to do and it just gets wildly busy for some people. I don't have family where I live, so I don't have like a lot of, family holiday traditions that we have. And we don't have a lot of people like we're going to meet up with for the holidays or anything like that. So we don't have huge parties or have a lot of things going on like that. But if I did, and you might be someone who has a lot going on during the holidays, you'll just have to be very strategic about how you do business. And if you're looking at this during a time that's not the holidays, same thing for anything in your life going on. If it's a busy time, maybe there's a health crisis, or maybe you have to go through a surgery, or maybe there's just something happening financially and you just have to stop everything you're doing to focus on that one thing. Maybe you're grieving the loss of a loved one. You just have to stop doing what you're doing and focus on getting better and healing. And during those busy times, it's totally okay to step away for a season and come back. Your viewers, readers, listeners will understand, and they're not going to be mad at you for going away, because when you come back, you're going to come back with more energy. You're going to come back with just more to offer. So I highly recommend taking breaks, and I highly recommend having boundaries and knowing where you stop and where you start. You have to know where you end. You have to know when it's time to say goodbye to business for the night, for the evening. And if you're an evening person, maybe you're not working on business during the day, you know your schedule best. And you fit your life into the business and work schedule that works best for you. I want you to give yourself a lot of grace. As women, we go through a lot. And it's overwhelming at times, but know that you are empowered to do the work you're doing, which is why you feel so strongly about creating the content that you create, even on the hard days when you don't feel like you're going to get it all done, even when it feels like, what's the point, right? Because like, who's going to watch it? Who's going to listen to it? But just do the work and you'll be so glad, because someone later down the road, if not right away, will find your content and be so blessed by it. So do the work and see what happens and just keep going. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to check out my Content with Confidence course, which is available to you to help you get started with creating content with confidence. If you feel like you're stuck in a rut and you have been going around in circles trying to figure out how to get started with online business, and you have content to share but just afraid to share it, I want you to purchase that course because it can help you to get your motivation and get started. It also talks about SEO, so I help with a few other things too to help you with your content. So you can see the link for that down below. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys another time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the podcast, and I hope you feel inspired and ready to take the next steps in balancing your family life and your solopreneurship journey. So before you go, don't forget to follow me over on YouTube for more strategies and tips and encouragement. And be sure to also join my mailing list. The links are in the show notes. And I have so much in store for the upcoming year to keep you motivated and empowered to create content that builds your brand and grows your business. In 2025 and beyond, I'll be serving up even more courses, products, and opportunities to connect with you. So be looking out for virtual meetups, group coaching, and one-on-one coffee chats to support your growth. Now, whether you're dreaming of starting a podcast or a YouTube channel or a blog or some type of online community, I'm here to help you make it happen. And I would love to hear from you, last of all, because I want to know what you're thinking. So please join my mailing list. You can do that at herbusinesselevated.com. Write to me. Let me know what you're thinking and what you'd like to see from the Her Business Elevated community. Your feedback is what drives me, and I'm truly listening to you. Together, we're going to build something amazing. So until next time, keep dreaming big and taking bold steps. Let's elevate your business in the new year and beyond.